Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's episode of the 2022 E3 Scores Women Conference virtual interview, giving you a sneak peek on what to expect on this year's conference. I'm just one of your hosts, Zack Wilson, alongside the woman who does it all, Mackenzie Scherer. Mackenzie, how are we doing today?
Wonderful. It's great to be back with you again, Zack. And as always, wonderful to be your co-host.
We need to start doing these in next to each other, Mackenzie, because right now I'm in a very stuffy isolation pod because I kind of had a freak out because my voice carries, you see. And we have kind of a cramped office here at work, so I didn't want to blare my full voice for everybody can hear while they're in important meetings. So
I think it would have been appreciated though.
I mean, probably, but it's also sweating. But sweating in isolation pods aside, we are joined today by none other than the founder and CEO of Innovate Her KC, host of the Startup Hustle podcast, and so much more. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the one, the only, Lauren Conaway. Lauren, how are we doing?
Yay! That was quite an intro. Thank you for that. Just showing me how it's done, man.
Awesome. Showing you that's one way to put it.
Well, hey, how are you folks today? I mean, aside from sweating in isolation
pods.
Oh
my God, you have no idea.
Well, yeah, so hi, I am Lauren Conaway. I'm founder and CEO of Innovate Her KC. We are a large and very active leadership community. We serve women and individuals from marginalized gender experiences. We have a huge focus on inclusion and low barrier to entry. Those are our two organizational focuses. And we definitely offer a lot of services and programs and initiatives, all designed to help connect women to opportunity. That's the bottom line. I am also one of the co-hosts of the Startup Hustle podcast. It's a top 20 entrepreneurship podcast on Apple Podcasts. And I think we're listened to in over 190 countries now, which is pretty cool. But it is my very, very happy duty. I'm very fortunate to be able to share the stories of innovators, our members, influencers, entrepreneurs, get to share founder stories with the world. So yeah, those are my two gigs.
You call them gigs. I mean, how much time must that take? Where is there time to breathe?
I mean, it's definitely a whole life kind of proposition. I'm very lucky. But when you have a calling, it's like people are like work-life balance. I'm like, what's that? But that being said, when you're doing what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. Is that the saying? I think. I mean, I don't know that I agree with that wholeheartedly, but it certainly makes most days easier.
It makes them go at least a little quicker.
Yeah, for sure.
So with that being said, as an entrepreneur, I know a lot of your time is probably taken up with your podcast and all the other stuff that you're doing. So what out of all of the things that you do waste the most time in your day-to-day life? Because I know I'm a bad one about pulling up Facebook and then just kind of getting lost and seeing what everybody's up to. Yeah, that's a big one for me.
Well, you hit it on the head. So first things first, I just want to say Startup Hustle podcast actually doesn't take up that much of my time. I'm very, very fortunate to have a really, really awesome production team, and they literally just let me show up and talk at people. So that works for me. But I just wanted to give a shout out to Full Scale and to the Startup Hustle production team. They're amazing. But the other things that take up my time. Okay, I was actually thinking about this earlier today. So as a community building organization and entrepreneurial support organization, Innovate Her, we have to have a strong presence in the community. And so I go to a lot of events, and the thing that takes up much more of my time that I would care about is actually finding parking. When I'm going to events, and most of them are downtown or in the crossroads, which is kind of a, really dense urban areas. You're driving around and it's like, how many times do I think I'm going to have to circle this block in order to find a spot for my car? And the answer is a lot, almost every time. So that's what I spend a lot of time on. I also spend a lot of time on social media, if that's more what you were thinking for an answer.
I mean, parking was a good answer. I myself hate parallel parking. So there's a couple parking lots downtown.
It's so tough.
that are normal parking lots. So I will walk 2 extra blocks just so I do not have to parallel park because I hate it
Hey,
that much.
I am feeling you. I am smelling what you're stepping in. I'm picking up what you're throwing down. I get it. Totally. Parking is the bane of my existence.
Well, it's also that like real nerve-wracking situation where there's already 2 cars like on opposite ends of your car, and you really just have to like thread the needle in there. Like that's the ultimate nightmare.
Well, and not only that, like I'm usually stressed because I'm like driving multiple places in a day potentially, and like so I'm usually stressed out, and I'm like, this is great. Let's just add more fuel on this awful fire. So yeah, I hate finding parking, and I have to do it a ton.
So speaking about driving, everybody listens to something when they're driving. So what song, when it comes on the radio, do you just have to sing and dance with?
See, you're going to ask a music question. That's super tough for me. One of my favorite things to do, it makes me feel like me, is drive around with my windows down. Like, doesn't even really matter the weather, and blast music. And like, that's my happy place. That's how I kind of decompress. So I was thinking about this, and I think I'm going to go with Lizzo's Like a Girl, because every single time that comes on, or Demi Lovato's, like there are so many answers to this question. Demi Lovato's Confident, like that's a hype up song for me if I'm going to a meeting where I know I'm going to be on the struggle bus, or like it's going to be, I have to be on point. I'll listen to that. But like those are like, you have to scream sing the lyrics to reach that peak empowerment, right? But it totally works.
Well, for me personally, I would have to say No Stranger to Love by Rick Astley. Hands down.
Wait. I don't think, can you sing a little bit for us?
Ooh, can we do that without being copyright?
Oh, I don't know.
We're not strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I.
Okay, I got it. I needed that little, just a couple bars, you know?
Mozart, Bach, Beethoven, never heard of them. Music was created when Rick Astley brought that banner to our attention.
Oh my gosh. That's a bold statement, friend. That's a really bold statement. How about you, Mackenzie?
Build Me Up Buttercup every time.
That's such a sweet song.
It's so good. It's a classic. You just have to turn it all the way up.
Yeah.
And
it is a very happy song. Like, yeah. Okay, I dig it.
I'm not familiar with this one. Who sings? What kind of vibe is it?
Isn't it like from the 50s?
Yeah, it's like 50s or 60s.
Build me up, buttercup.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Now again, like with the Rick Astley song. Now that you sang it,
Yeah.
I was about to say, you have to know "Build Me Up, Buttercup." Like,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it's on commercials, everything. You
There
have
was
to
a
just
time.
know that
There
song.
was a time in the 90s when it opened almost every romantic comedy. Like they were just like, "Here, slap Build Me Up Buttercup on the front end, and that'll get people in the mood."
Well, now that you said I had to, now I kind of wish I was like, what song? Just out of spite.
Love it. Well, yeah. So talk to me. I'm super excited. So we're here talking about the SCORE conference, right?
So we did want to ask you a little bit, is there anything that you can give us kind of a sneak preview on regarding what you will be discussing at the conference itself? Give everybody kind of a little taste of what to expect.
I can do that. So kind of generally speaking, I know I'm giving one of the keynotes. I'm very honored. First of all, I can't wait to meet everyone and connect and find ways we can collaborate and, talk about all those awesome things that we love. I will tell you that my speaking style, it's a little bit interactive and dynamic. Like I'm a loud, like up person. So you can expect that. You can expect that we're going to have a little bit of fun during our time together. As far as content, I'm really excited. So the working title that I have right now it's The Myth of the Fearless Leader. And so I'm going to ask you if this has ever happened to you, but you're thrust into a position of leadership, or you take on a position of leadership, and then somebody asks you, or refers to you, somebody refers to you as a fearless leader. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah.
No,
Has
but
that
I'm
ever
not
happened
very,
to you?
no, but I'm not very fearless, to be fair.
Well, okay. So when I started Innovate Her KC, people started calling me a fearless leader. And I felt very uncomfortable at that title because I was terrified like 99.9% of the time. You know, you're starting a business and you're building a movement and you're having to do all of these things that feel uncomfortable and unfamiliar. And so being labeled fearless leader was really unnerving for me. There was a disconnect between how people and how I felt about myself. And so I'm going to be delving into that experience and what that has meant in my leadership journey, what it can mean in your leadership journey, you know, just how we interact with and engage with fear and how it can motivate us and propel us as well as, you know, scare the crap out of us.
That's really awesome. I'm even more excited to hear
Hey,
about
okay, good. You know, you always have
man.
you always have a little bit nerve. You're like, they better respond.
Especially
They
when-
have to respond.
Especially with,
That's great.
And like full disclosure to the people watching, you know, we gave her a little bit of a preface of, you know, the type of questions we're going to ask her. So that one was just right off the top. And, you know,
That's true. That's true. I did not have a heads up.
Well, she knocked it out of the park. And if you watching right now would be interested in hanging out with us at the E3 Score Women's Conference, well, I have good news for you, because all you have to do to have that opportunity is to go to e3score.org to check out all the things we have coming up for the conference. Now, remember, the conference is September 13th and 14th. So just next month. So grab your tickets while you can. We've got a bunch of great stuff coming up at the conference, from educational breakout sessions, keynotes, exhibitor booths, networking, and everybody's favorite happy hour and reception. You can also follow
That's
us.
what I'm most looking forward to.
Ooh, you and I both. It's like happy hour reception followed closely by your keynote.
Okay, I'll take that.
And as always, feel free to check us out on social media to get all the update information about what we've got going on at E3 Score. All right, Lauren, we're about ready to wrap it up. Is there any final thoughts you'd like to leave us on? Sage-like wisdom. Anything at all?
I don't know. Sage-like wisdom. That's also something I'm like, maybe not so much. But you know, I'm really hoping that you consider getting a ticket for this SCORE conference. I'm super excited about it. I know that the other speakers are super psyched. We're going to have a really fantastic time. We're going to learn a lot. We're going to meet a lot of amazing people. And I'm so thrilled. And I'm really, really hoping that everybody watching at home can come be a part of it.
Could not have said it better myself. Guys, until next time, I'm Zach, that's Mac, and this has been Lauren Conaway. Always remember that life's better when you have friends to share it with, and we'll see you next time.